From Broman Field, welcome to tonight's broadcast of the annual Cannonball Classic. That game kicks off the season for both Eastern View and Culpeper County High Schools. It also kicks off our season here of high school football broadcasting on the Culpeper Media Network. And I'm Mark O'Connell. It's my privilege to join you once more for this, our 22nd season together. And this is also, I'm trying to remember how many meetings these two teams have played, but here's the thing that can't be ignored. In this Cannonball Classic, which features our two local teams, Eastern View has never lost, and likewise, Culpeper has never won. Will things be any different tonight? We'll find out. There are some differences going into tonight's game, and if you tuned into our Coach's Corner, you had a chance to reacquaint yourself with Greg Hatfield, who's been the head coach of the Cyclones from the day one, which for Eastern View meant 2008. But for the Blue Devils, remember they welcome a new head coach this year, a fellow by the name of James Ford, 38 years old, comes over by way of Prince Edward High School. That's his alma mater. He was there 12 years, and he was head coach for 8. That's a AA classification school. This position came open when Culpeper head coach Ken Wakefield resigned and took the job at Patrick Henry of Ashland. So Coach Wakefield did a great job. He's gone. In his place, Coach Ford. He's not here tonight for health reasons. In his place will be defensive coordinator Brandon Oots, who also assumes the role as the acting coach. Brandon Oots is a young man. I've known him for years from Madison County, and tonight he has a lot of pressure on him because this is his debut as a head coach. I know he's a little bit nervous about it, and we're not going to interview him tonight or Coach Hatfield because both these guys take their teams to these drills in the opening game of the season. Well, this is our opening as well. And starting off with the Cannonball Classic is a great way to get things going because it pits our two teams against each other. And for the coaches, because the game is a distraction, it's a rivalry game, they actually prefer playing it early on in the season. So we know about Eastern View's run in the playoffs. They made it to the state semis last year. Culpeper on the 3A level made it to the state semifinals as well. And that was huge for the program. They had done so since 2001. But this year, the Blue Devils bump up to 4A to join Eastern View, a perennial 4A power, to take on some of the best teams in the state at some point in the season. It's going to be a tough year for both teams. There are no weak opponents on either team's schedule. Well, that's how things are going to be shaping up here tonight at Broman Field. The homestanding Blue Devils once again hosting this Cannonball Classic against the visiting Cyclones. And once more, the Cyclones have had their way in the series, and I know the Blue Devils are primed, but of course the Cyclones bring plenty of firepower, and they typically reload rather than rebuild each season. Well, I'm Mark O'Connell, and that's our pregame show for the night. We're going to take a break, and when we come back on the air, I'll be joined by Steve Peacock for the play-by-play of tonight's game. Stay tuned.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air.
Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community.
CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams and do your best.
Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
From Broman Field, welcome to the annual Cannonball Classic. The 2019 version features the Blue Devils playing at home to the visiting Cyclones of Eastern View. In a game and a series never won by the Blue Devils and likewise never lost by the Cyclones. You're looking at the Blue Devil team coming onto the field. Great cheering section here tonight for them, and of course the Cyclones have filled in the stands as well. I'm Mark O'Connell, joined as always by the incomparable, the indomitable Steve Peacock. And this is our 22nd season. Steve, welcome aboard again. And I know you're excited about this one. How about getting the season started with the Cannonball Classic?
Well, Mark, there's no better way to start the season. I'm glad to be back in the booth with you, our 22nd year. And I mean, that just floors me. It's been 22 years since we started broadcasting, but what a night for football. Beautiful, low humidity, not a cloud in the sky, and you kick it off to start the season between Culpeper and Eastern View. Everything, Culpeper wants this game so bad. They have not beaten Eastern View in 10 tries, and now they're going here, and Eastern View's coming in. They're looking to just keep it on after their successful season last year and the season before that. They just reload. So Culpeper's a lot bigger and stronger. New coach with Coach Ford and his staff, and led by Brandon Oots, the defensive coordinator. So we're going to see how the Blue Devils are going to play tonight, but it's going to be an interesting game.
Well, Brandon Oots, as you mentioned, makes his debut for Culpeper as its defensive coordinator, but he's also the acting coach in place of the ailing James Ford, and we wish him all the best. In fact, Carl Adams, one of the assistant coaches for Eastern View, Steve, approached me before the game. He showed me this banner they have. You're going to see it as Johnny's going to zero in on it here real soon. Team captains of Eastern View are holding this banner that Eastern View made. I want you to see what this says. Culpeper, Virginia, one community, two shades of blue. Coach Ford, both shades are praying for you.
What a tribute.
And that's a really classy tribute put together by Eastern View. And you're looking at the team captains, Blake Leak on the left there, number 15, and number 9, Drew Sharina, both holding that banner up. And really just a classy tribute. We're going to take a look at that, and that ought to evoke some emotion. Yeah, we certainly send our best wishes and prayers out to Coach Ford. And I know he'll be following along. We mentioned Brandon Oots making his debut as the acting head coach and the defense coordinator. I know he's under a lot of pressure and he's nervous about tonight's game, but I know Brandon Oots. I've known him for several years, Steve. I know he's going to come in having done his homework. But speaking of doing their homework, you know Eastern View's always been tops at that. Coach Hatfield and his very able staff, they've been together for a long time. They do a great job of getting their players ready for each game.
They sure do, Mark. And this is going to be an uphill battle for the Blue Devils tonight, but they're going to be playing with a lot of emotion for Coach Ford, you know, when he was diagnosed with his illness. And they're, you know, what a classy move by the Eastern View Cyclones with that banner. It is one community. These kids know each other. They played against each other. They're friends after tonight. But again, it's going to be a hard-fought game here between the Cyclones and the Blue Devils.
All right, team captains, we mentioned a couple for Eastern View. Culpeper left to right, Armani Hoffman, 53 Cameron Buchanan, 56 Nathan Bryan, and number 50 Carl Quimbow.
Yep.
If I got that right. That one may have stumped me. We'll see. Find out later on. I want to just point out, Steve, both of these teams, and I think particularly Culpeper might have a new trim design here, but both these teams look pretty spiffy in their uniforms.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I thought maybe Eastern View might have a little, different away uniform, but they're familiar. But they, like I said, a little trim design. But again, both teams are ready to coming out here tonight, ready to play and get this game started. And like I said, the keys for Culpeper, Mark, I'm going to tell you right now: turnovers. They can't commit turnovers against this potent Eastern View defense. The defense for Eastern View is going to be swarming. Culpeper's going to have to take care of the football, and then Eastern View is just going to have to see what we're going to get with new quarterback Till Butler this year.
Well, we got a celebrity in the house. Marshall Connor is the name. Marshall might want to talk to you along with Jeff Say, maybe at the half.
Marsh.
Yeah. So seeing Marsh makes me think of
20 years ago.
the 1999 season.
Absolutely.
And this season is the 20th anniversary of that 1999 state championship Blue Devil team that won the Division V crown that year. And, of course, Marshall was the sports center, the star exponent that year, followed along very closely, and recently submitted a very good tribute article to that team. Anyway, after the coin toss, Eastern View won it deferred, and Culpeper will receive. And I was going to ask you, Steve, if you were Brandon Oots in that scenario, if you won the toss, do you think he would have opted to put his defense or his offense onto the field first?
I wouldn't think he wanted to go defense and see what they – because you want to test Eastern View's offense. Till Butler being new, the quarterback this year, going to be the starting quarterback, and we're going to see what he brings to the table. He's not going to be a Matt Lowry. He's not going to try to be Matt Lowry. He said that already. And the team knows it, and they've got confidence in him. He has a great arm. He's got a good pocket presence, but he's not going to have the escape ability that Matt Lowry had.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting who Culpeper opens up with quarterback. It wasn't named before the game. Is it going to be Jacob Plaster, or is it going to be the Graves kid?
Well, you got Josh Plaster, and you were right because Devin Payne did a preview, and going into the game, we weren't sure who's going to be the quarterback. Obviously, we're going to find out pretty soon, barring a miscue off this kickoff, because Culpeper is set to receive the ball, and barring a miscue or a kickoff return, we'll see Culpeper's offense after the kickoff. Now, teeing it up for Eastern View is the familiar, no, not familiar, Nicholas Chute, number 45, is listed as a kicker, but it's going to be number 3 out there. You have him. That's Garrett Hutchinson. He's familiar.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for a while, and he's done so with great consistency and reliability for Eastern View. And, of course, Steve, you get into close games. To have a good kicking game, a good kicker, pays dividends. And here is Hutchinson's kick. And our season and the Cannonball Classic underway at Broman Field. This one taken near the 5-yard line across the 20. Stood up about at the 25, falls to the 26. That's where the Blue Devils will have field position to start things with. And this was DeJure McCray on the return. We'll set the offense, and Steve and I are waiting here with bated breath to see who's going to get the starting quarterback job for Culpeper.
Is it going to be JoJo Crenshaw? Is it going to be Plaster? See who they open up with.
And, the coach said that whoever doesn't start at quarterback would play at receiver. So let's see who's in there. Right now it's going to be number 11, and that is Josh Plaster.
Yep. And see, they're without Storm Martin. He's injured, and he was going to be a big player figured in for the Blue Devils. But number 5, he's not suited up tonight.
Here's Plaster handing off, tailback, Riley Harrison, I believe. Going to pick up maybe a yard on the play. One of the things about the Eastern View defense is that we have seen them swarm to the football, Steve, consistently throughout the years.
Consistently, and you're going to see it again, Mark, this year. They're very well coached. They've got a lot of, their cornerbacks, in their secondary, led by Blake Leak back there. They're going to be dangerous. And again, the Culpeper's got to have their hands filled. And we're going to be hearing Riley Harrison's name a lot tonight.
Austin Lentz is back there. Here's the play fake. Plaster going to keep it, looking for some running room, but the Cyclones stretch this play out, and they'll have a short gain by Plaster. That's his first run. We're going to have a third down and a long situation coming up for Culpeper here on its first series of the game. Boy, if you're just tuning in, we're in the opening minute of this Cannonball Classic here at Broman Field. You're looking at the Eastern View defensive squad right there, and they have forced the Blue Devils into a 3rd and 7 on Culpeper's first possession. Josh Plaster has gotten the nod to start at quarterback for Culpeper so far, and he's got a receiver sent both sides. 2 backs behind there with him on his left and right flank. Austin Lentz is one of them. Play action. Here's the first pass. This one incomplete. And he threw it into some traffic out there trying to get it to DeJure McCray. Good coverage. Incomplete pass. And a punting situation, obviously, for Culpeper.
Yeah, and again, that's not what Culpeper wanted, Mark. 3 and out, but that's what Eastern View wanted to do, 3 and out. And, they're going to be up there led on that defensive line by number 6. You got Jordan Breckley up there leading in number 78. Also, Elijah Hoskins up there in that defensive line. They're going to be putting a lot of pressure on that Blue Devil offense.
So here is 4th down. Good snap. And the kick. Spiraled kick is going to bounce down. And the Blue Devils will let it roll, and they'll down it at the 30-yard line. That's where Eastern View will set up on offense for the first time tonight and this season. Welcome to the Cannonball Classic. Mark O'Connell, Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk with you tonight on behalf of the Culpeper Media Network. We're glad you're here. Hope you enjoyed the game. And, Steve, there are a lot of people in the stands because it's a beautiful night. This is a Thursday night, so this is really our version of Thursday night football to start.
You got it. I'm excited too, Mark, because you got to get excited for the Cannonball Classic.
So Eastern View, they'll actually mark it here at the 30. Cyclones will start on offense from the 30. Till Butler, the quarterback, here in the spread. We got movement. We got a jump from the lineman there, number 77, big guy, Tyler Jeffries. And the Blue Devils recognize that they jumped the gun. They don't question that one as they mark off 5 yards.
Let's set that offensive line there for Eastern View, led by, got 75. That's Ricky Robinson. Number 70 is Jason Southern up there, another returning starter.
And good job getting to those. We'll get to them as we can. Blue Devils show some pressure here. Here they come, and the running back gets away from it. Again, he gets into the open field. Straight ahead he goes in Blue Devil territory. And that is number 4, Rack Lawson, and you're going to hear his name mentioned frequently tonight and in subsequent games because you know what? He's really going to be that go-to running back with Trey Holmes gone.
That's right, Mark. He replaces Trey Holmes, and Rock ran, he likes to call Rock. He ran the ball some last year for the Eastern View Cyclones. Now he's the man. He just started off with a big run, first down run for the Cyclones.
Cyclones have it at the Blue Devil 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's Till Butler taking the snap. Butler going to keep it. Go off that right tackle area. Got in behind the blocking. Got inside the 45, down to the 43. He picked up 5 yards on first down. Will bring up 2nd and 5.
Lucky that Eastern View wasn't tagged there for illegal procedure because Rock Lawson was leaning a little bit before that snap, but the officials didn't see it. So, Till made a good run. But again, the Blue Devils on defense are going to have to swarm and get to that football, and they're going to have to get pressure on Till Butler.
All right, here's Butler on, actually call it 2nd and 6, and the handoff. This is Lawson. Lawson, there's a good open field tackle out there, I believe, made by Joseph Holland, because had he not tackled Lawson, he might still be running. He had some room. Got down to the 40-yard line. He picked up 4. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 for Eastern View.
And we got Braden Walker on the offensive line there for Eastern View. And let me pick up the others, Mark. I can't quite make out the numbers there.
Well, we got that a little bit of a glare
at
this point in the game. Of course, that's going to change as the game progresses. Here's Butler, handoff straight ahead. Good hit by the Blue Devils. Good defensive stop. Number 68 and number 4. And that would be Riley Harrison and 68 Bracken Hibbert combined for the tackle. Now they force a 4th and short. Good stoppage there on 3rd down. What do the Cyclones do here? Do they go for it?
And Braxton Hibbert is the brother of Grant Hibbert, who last year was an all-state selection for the Blue Devils.
Riley Harrison not wearing jersey 34 this year, Steve. He's wearing number 4. Long snap count by Butler, obviously trying to draw the Blue Devils offside. They don't take the bait. Butler looks to the sidelines for additional instructions. Let's see what he dials up here. On 4th and 1 at the Blue Devil 39-yard line. Here's Butler. Butler is going to be really close to a first down. Going to depend on forward progress, and the stoppage there coming in, putting the finishing touches on that tackle was number 23, Austin Lentz. Cyclone lineman there believed that he got a first down, and he did. Big number 70 is Jason Southern. He's a senior. He was recognized last year for his performance, wasn't he?
He sure was. And then also we got big 65 in there. We haven't called his name in his offensive line, and that is David Jorgensen.
Jorgensen.
Yep.
Not Jorgensen.
Jorgensen.
You got it right the first time. just a little tidbit there, Steve.
Yep.
So first down, that fourth down rather conversion will move the sticks and give the Cyclones a new set of downs. And they'll have it at the 38-yard line, where it's 1st and 10. 7:44 to play here in the first quarter. Here's the pitch. Lawson got past the initial hit and then broke another tackle. And he goes out of bounds, very close to another Cyclone first down.
And he's going to be a load, Mark, to bring down. He is going to. Rock Lawson ran hard last year as a sophomore. He's a junior, replaces Trey Holmes, and that's hard to replace. 1,700 yards last season. So it looks like that Rock is off to a great start.
And the Cyclones spread it out. 3 receivers to the left, 1 top of your screen. Till Butler back there with Lawson. He fumbles it, picks it up, and then takes a hard hit. He ran into a stone wall at the line of scrimmage. That one was led by Cameron Buchanan. And they greet Butler a little rudely.
Yeah.
Stop him cold at the 30. Brings up second down. Make that 3rd down and 2, rather.
The key, Mark, to Eastern View is going to be Till Butler. Also, is can they keep him healthy? He has a tendency to be injury prone, and that's going to be the key. Keeping him healthy is going to be a key to the success of the Cyclones this year.
And you played behind Matt Lowry, and he did have his moments when he came in with his reps. And I recall that Till Butler typically made the most of those. But now he's in the starting position here, and things have changed for him. He's leading this team this year. 3rd and 2. Here's Butler, going to keep it. He's going to lower his shoulder, and he's going to pick up a first down. He got down to the 25-yard line. He only needed 2 yards. He picked up 5, and that'll move the sticks. Cyclones keep their drive going. This one started, and this was their first drive. First possession. They started this drive on their own 30-yard line, and now they have 1st and 10 at the Blue Devil 25.
I'm anxious to see when Eastern View is going to start testing that secondary of the Blue Devils with All-State performer Blake Leake going to Bucknell, a Division I signee. When are they going to start using him and start attacking that Blue Devil secondary? But he's covered by Jajur McCray, who's a good cover corner.
Blue Devils show pressure. Butler runs away from it. Butler gets into the open field, got inside the 20, down close to the 15-yard line. And close once more to another Eastern View first down. Maybe a yard short. There you see the marker. 2nd and 1. So Butler looks good running the ball.
Yeah, it's just going to be the question is his durability, Mark. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the key.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout taken by the Blue Devils. We'll tell you during this timeout that this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. That's Found & Sons at 825-3530. 5:55 to play here in the first quarter. We are scoreless, but the Cyclones are moving. Steve, what do you like so far about what you've seen from the Cyclone offense?
Well, I mean, what I've seen so far, they're controlling the line of scrimmage with their big offensive line. They have returning, starters from last year up there. And what surprised me is Till Butler running the football more. Matt Lowry did a lot of that last year. But I would think that I was going to, be seeing more of a balanced attack opening up with the pass. But also you got Rock Lawson, who's contributed very well and running hard too. So right now, Eastern View looks like they're doing pretty good, and they're running, starting this game off with with a lot of spark and a lot of really trying to be physical against that Blue Devil defense. Blue Devils got to get in the trenches, and they got to find a way to stop Till Butler from running for 8-9 yards on every snap.
All right. Well, after the timeout, Cyclones have it 1st and 10 at the Blue Devil 25. Till Butler takes the snap. Play action. Fakes it, keeps it. There he goes again, picking up yardage. And looks like he got inside the 10-yard line. And that will be a 1st and goal. And that's Butler running again. And I think you're probably grimacing a little when you see a lot of that.
Well, not grimacing, but what I'm saying is I know why they're doing it, because the hole's there. They're faking it to Rock Lawson, and everybody, all the Blue Devils are keying on him, and the defensive end for Holland down there is pinching down, leaving that corner wide open, and that's why Till Butler's running.
Yeah, well, he got away from Riley Harrison, then lowered the shoulder and drew about 3 or 4 dark blue jerseys. So they go back to Butler. The line of scrimmage was the 10-yard line where it was first and goal. And now they have it marked at the 8, I believe.
No, it looks like it's marked at the
3.
3.
It's down at the 3. I was off by 5. All right, so that's going to bring up second and goal from the 3. Here's Butler. He's going to throw it near side. Penalty flag comes in. Our second of the game as Chance Graves moseys into the end zone. We'll see if the play will stand.
But I think that's coming back. I think it's going to be a legal shift or maybe a block in the back on Blake Leak. We'll see what the call is here. And it's going to be against Eastern View. It's coming back. Yeah,
hold. There you go.
The hold on Blake Leak, because he came back and tried to crack back a little bit on that. But again, Mark, I know why they're, Culpeper's going to have to take some chances on defense. They're going to have to throw in that blitz with, Riley Harrison, what he just did, in order to disrupt that Cyclone offense.
So it moves it back to the 15-yard line. And they repeat second down. It'll be second and goal from the 15.
And you got big number 65 in there for the Blue Devils on defense. We haven't called his name. And that is, who's that?
Devonta Shellington?
Yep. You're going to hear a lot from him. They're really high in him. Coach Brandon Newt said they're very high in Shellington.
All right. And we'll try to pick up more numbers and players as we roll on. Here is second and goal from the 15. Fumble on the play. Butler got away from the pressure. 20. Now he steps up to throw it. This one nearly picked off. And right there he had it to Jure McRae. And he's going to lament that one immediately.
Yeah, I mean, that was we can go to replay on that, Mark, and look what happened right here. Drop ball. They looked like they had Butler trapped way deep in his own backfield with that fumble, but he was able to pick it up and shake free, and then he stopped short of the line of scrimmage and tried to get it to Blake Leak, and lucky that Jure McRae had the ball in his hands but just couldn't wrap it up. It would have been an interception.
Well, what he did well, though, was getting away from that pressure and avoiding the sack, and then creating an opportunity. Here's Butler throwing again. This one up in the air for grabs. It was off the fingertips of Josh Logan. And now, all of a sudden, rather than second and goal from the 3, Steve, Eastern View is looking at a 4th and goal from the 15.
And are they going to kick a field goal? Yes, they are. They're going to go for the field goal. Mark, try to get 3 points here with Garrett Hutchinson.
All right, so 15 plus 7, it will be 22. This would be a 32-yard field goal attempt by Garrett Hutchinson. Let's pick up who the holder is. Well, it's going to be Till Butler. They're going to mark it there at the 22. So actually, this is a 32-yard field goal. And it's going to be at an angle as well. Looking at that left hash mark. Well, here comes a penalty flag. We got a player jumping for Culpeper, but the Blue Devils indicate they were drawn offside.
Yep.
And they were. A false start.
Side of the line, 5-yard penalty. That 32-yard kick now becomes a 37.
So they push them back 5 yards to the 20, and then the spot would be the 27. We'll have a 37-yard field goal coming up here in just a moment from Garrett Hutchinson. Now, that's within his range. No doubt.
It is in his range, Mark, but what a stop for the Blue Devil defense. This is a stop. Even if he makes his field goal, it's still better than allowing 6 points. And if he misses here, that's going to be a great stop for that defense of the Blue Devils.
Butler, the holder. He gets it down. Here's Hutchinson's kick. Gets blocked. And Butler recovers near the 40-yard line. What were you just saying about a huge stop? Because they had a second and goal from the 3. And then ultimately, Eastern View went for a 37-yard field goal, and the Blue Devils smothered it. And it may have been Riley Harrison getting credit for the block.
It was, Mark. If we go to replay, you can see him. He comes in there almost let's go to replay. We see, look, he comes in almost untouched. And then he made a great block. He almost picked it up. If he could have picked it up, he would have ran it back for 6 points. Great play by the Blue Devil defense.
Can you return a block kick for touchdown?
I think you can. Yes, you can.
Okay. Well, in any event, Culpeper defense gets a big lift and creates a big lift for their offensive teammates here as Riley Harrison doing some fancy footwork there, keeping those legs churning and drawing a crowd, and took a gang of Cyclones to bring him down. We got a penalty flag, and that's going to be against Culpeper, and it's going to offset that nice run, determined run by Riley Harrison.
Yeah, but it's going to be a holding. I thought it might have been a face mask by Eastern View, but it was a hold. And again, the penalties are just, that's what the Blue Devils got to be careful of, turnovers and penalties. That was a great run by Riley Harrison, and we're going to be calling his name a lot this season. He's going to be a workhorse for the Blue Devils on both offense and defense. So look out for number 4. But again, that negates a big run by Harrison.
Well, you see, you're talking about penalties, so that was Culpeper's second. They had an offsides,
yep.
And then they had the holding just a moment ago. Eastern View has been hit with a holding penalty tonight on that last drive too. Go back to Harrison.
Left side.
No, make that number 34 rather. And this year that's Jacob Douglas. I think that was Riley Harrison's number last year, wasn't it?
It was.
And Riley Harrison's wearing number 34. And number 34 is Jacob Douglas. That was his first carry of the night. He's a senior.
And number, big 79. And see, look at big 79. And, Culpeper's got some big offensive linemen, Mark. Run behind him.
Mm-hmm. Picked up 5 yards, did Douglas. Out to the 34, makes it 2nd and 15. 3:50 to play in the first quarter clock. Ticking, no score. Back to the run. This is Douglas out to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 6 yards, and it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 9.
And number 79, Mark, I want to bring his name, is Jacob McCracken.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be another big player. The Blue Devils are high on this year.
You mentioned 53 Buchanan. He's a two-way player. And you picked up number 56, didn't you?
No,
Nathan Bryan.
Did not. Nope.
Or there he is. Skilled players in there, number 3, Amani Hoffman. His brother Capone has graduated.
Who's the center? The center for Culpeper.
We're going to have to see if we can't pinpoint that here in a moment. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 3rd down. Play action. This one caught, spun out of there, then wrestled down hard. But let's check the forward progress and see what he got. It looks like he was going to be a couple yards shy of a first down.
He is, Mark. He's going to be a little bit shy.
Cam Lacey with the catch, Blake Leak with the tackle.
Well, Blake Leak, you were mentioning him. He makes the tackle. Now we got like a 4th and 4 coming up. He picked up only 5 yards on the reception. Out to the 45, and it's 4th and 4.
And it looks like they're going to punt, Mark.
Well, I think you can play field position here. That would be quite a gamble to be punting at this point. Joseph Holland is lined up as a punter, standing at his own 30-yard line. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout taken by the Blue Devils.
Yeah.
That'll give us an opportunity to tell you that this broadcast is made possible by Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive at 547-3673. We're down to 2:21 to play here in the first quarter. We got a timeout by the Blue Devils, and their second of this half. And when they come back after the timeout, they'll be looking at a 4th and 4 from their 45-yard line. Now, they lined up to punt. Why do you think they needed a timeout, Steve?
Because they couldn't get the punt unit on. There were too many first game jitters. Kids didn't know where to go and what the unit was on there, and they were running out of time, and they didn't have the people in the right places. But, Mark, at the center for Culpeper is going to be Stuart Jones, number 64.
Stuart Jones, and he's a junior.
So.
Yep. A lot of new names on both these rosters.
And Culpeper, like I said, number 65, did we call? Yeah, that's Shellington. Culpeper's got some big offensive linemen. They need to run behind it. But I agree with the punt decision here.
Yeah.
Don't give Eastern View good field position.
4th down and 4. Joseph Holland, the punter, stands at his own 20. Single safety back for the Cyclones. Another good snap. Here's the kick. This one's high. This one will not be returned, but it tried to take a Cyclone bounce, and so the Blue Devils there downed it at the 27-yard line, I believe it is. So that's where Eastern View will set up offense for the second time tonight. Steve, they put together a drive in that first series. They started at their own 30, and they punched it down to the Blue Devil 3-yard line, and then things sort of went awry for them.
Yeah, and things, turnovers and a penalty, and no turnover, but penalty. And fumbles and mistakes cost the Cyclones an opportunity to score.
So Eastern View starts this second series from its own 27-yard line. We're scoreless. First quarter action down to 2:13. Here's the pitch to Lawson. Over that right tackle position, making the initial hit was number 44, Quentin Butler. Then he had some help with the teammates to finish him off, but Lawson got out to the 32-yard line. And that's a pickup of 3 yards. Or 4 yards make it. Brings up 2nd and 6. Clock continues to run. Under 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter. And here's Butler. Till Butler taking the snap. Lawson, the ball carrier. Still on his feet, breaking tackles. Back into Culpeper territory tonight for the second time, but we've got a penalty flag back there in that offensive backfield.
And it looks like this is going to be coming back, Mark. Another big run from Rock Lawson. Looks like it's going to be called back because of a penalty. And, Rock Lawson runs hard. He ran hard last year. He's going to be tough to bring down.
And that penalty, when you see it thrown in that area, you usually think of holding, and that's what it was.
Yep.
And a holding is a big penalty, 10 yards. Let's see if he's going to push him back. The line of scrimmage was the 32.
And, last year I remember the game, Eastern View had scored a couple touchdowns already in the first quarter. Here we are at the end of the first quarter, and Culpeper's doing very well, holding Eastern View to keeping them out of the end zone.
Well, they've got it marked there at the 19. That's where they're going to repeat second down. And they've got to get out to the 37-yard line for a first down. Here's Lawson. Out across the 25 to about the 26. Give him 7 yards. Third and long. Third and about 13. Clock continues to run, 1:10 and counting. Here in the first quarter. Blue Devil defense stiffened against that Eastern View drive, which stalled on a blocked field goal attempt. Now Till Butler trying to lead them back down the field. He's got time to throw. Downfield he goes, this one! Oh, nearly caught and dropped. The defender went for it, missed it, and then it looks like Josh Logan had a chance for it, Steve, unable to bring it in.
Yep, and Cam Lacey for the Blue Devils with number 9 was on the defense on that. He almost had it, but he mistimed his jump, and big break again for the Blue Devils.
And we're going to see our first punt tonight for Eastern View, and it's Garrett Hutchinson standing at about the 10-yard line. And another, I think, victory for the Culpeper defense, Steve.
I do too.
To force Eastern View into a punt, and it's an obvious punting situation when it's 4th and 12, and you have the ball at your own 25-yard line. Garrett Hutchinson awaiting the snap. This one low. Takes a good bounce to Hutchinson. This one partially blocked. And the Blue Devils are going to have excellent field position. Are you spotting another penalty flag back there near the punter?
And it's going to be running into the kicker on. It's going to be running into the kicker. I don't understand that call. You blocked the punt.
Yeah. Well, let's see if that's truly how this one's shaking out. Well, it is against Culpeper, isn't it?
Yep, it's one.
But I guess my question is, is it this incidental contact, or is it going to be one of these that pushes them back 15 yards and we get a first down?
It's a roughing.
Roughing, yeah.
I don't get that. How can you rough the punter if you block the punt?
Looks like a roughing the kicker penalty.
That's the big one, roughing the kicker.
Yeah. That's a big break for Eastern View and bad break for the Blue Devils. I'm still kind of flabbergasted, Mark. How can you get roughing the punter on a blocked punt?
And I'm not sure exactly what happened, because after the kick, I was looking downfield for the ball, and that's when it would have happened. Butler has plenty of time. Throwing this one caught at the 30-yard line and racing into the end zone. He's going to make it. It's number 2, Alex Spangler, the first touchdown of the season.
And it's a Cyclone touchdown. And Till Butler to Spangler. And again, Mark, we got a flag in the end zone. I think it's going to be celebration penalty, but we'll see and see what happens here on the call.
60 yards on the pass play from Butler to Spangler. And this is a big blow for the Blue Devils because up until a minute ago, they looked like they were getting the ball back after that blocked punt. And that was their second block of a kick tonight. They had a blocked field goal attempt.
Yep.
Then they had the blocked punt, but roughing the kicker pushed the ball to the Blue Devil 40-yard line. And then on the first play, on 1st and 10, Butler connects with Spangler for 60 yards. Unsportsmanlike penalty is against Eastern View, and they would assess that on the kickoff.
But, Mark, again, that, Culpeper, I thought the defender had it knocked away.
Yeah.
And, he didn't, but he kind of, you got to give Spangler credit for staying with the ball and running it in. But what a blow for the Blue Devils. They had him stop, block the punt, and then they get a roughing on the block punt, which, again, is questionable.
All right, here is the point after. This one goes good. It was a sort of a sidewinder that cleared, and it's 7-0 in favor of Eastern View, but what a turn of events that was for the Blue Devils and Cyclones. And you've broken it down nicely. The defender on that play swatted at it as though he was in position, and obviously he just missed it. And he missed it and came up with air, and then Spangler saw it into his hands and then outran the next defender into the end zone. 60 yards on the scoring play. Eastern View has struck first, but Culpeper is going to look at that and say, we had our chances, and that roughing the punter penalty really hurt them.
It did, Mark. And, I mean, again, and I know Brandon Nooch is probably questioning that with the official. I'd be going the same thing. How can you rough the punter on a block kick? The ball was blocked. They didn't run into him before the ball was blocked. The ball was already blocked, and then I saw the punter fall down after he kicked it, and they called it roughing. But
yeah, do you ordinarily call a roughing when it's in conjunction with a block like that?
Yeah, I mean, if he got to the punter and hit to the leg first, but the punt was already blocked. I mean, there was nobody. The ball was dropped. It was a fumbled snap, and so once the ball's fumbled snap, that punter becomes a runner. It's fair game. He can be tackled.
Eastern View kicking off from the 25-yard line because of the unsportsmanlike penalty assessed on the scoring play. But here's Hutchinson's kick. This one on the one hopper picked up near the 20-yard line. And this is this Harrison, number 4? Or
number 9.
Number 9, my mistake. Just pick that up. That's Cam Lacey. Cam Lacey on the return. Decent field position for the Blue Devils. We'll have it, I think, at the 37-yard line.
Well, now what I'm going to do, is the Blue Devils, they can't get down on themselves, Mark. We got 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. They're trailing 7-0, but they just got to get, just keep working. They're only down a touchdown. Keep working and moving that ball offensively and see where they can move this ball against the defense of the Cyclones.
Well, we got a change in quarterback. That's McCray back there, number 1. McCray takes the handoff and tries to get to the outside, unable to do it. Nice tackle coming in, courtesy of, I wasn't able to pick up his number. We got a penalty flag down, and where is that in the area? Is it going to be a holding, or is it going to be?
It's going to be a holding, Mark, I think, against the Blue Devils.
It is holding, yep. Another holding penalty, and of course, as you pointed out before, those kind of penalties really hurt a team. They sting.
Yep, they sure do. They sure do. And now, we got a change in quarterback. We never thought that McCray was going to be figured into quarterback. I thought maybe they might bring in Crenshaw, but now look.
Well, they come back with Plaster.
Yeah.
McCray sort of reminded me of Javea Colclaw, taking that direct snap like Colclaw did so well for the Blue Devils the last couple of years. And here's play action. They got a receiver. It's Hoffman. Hoffman out to the 40-yard line. Going to get back that penalty yardage and then put them in a second down. No, we got to end the quarter.
Yep.
Going to bring up a 2nd and 7 when we come back for the start of the second. All right, we've played one quarter here at Broman Field, and it has expired with the Cyclones on top, 7-0. We'll take a quick break, come back for the start of the second. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network. You're watching the Cannonball Classic.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert, Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air.
Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community.
CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams and do your best.
Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
Welcome back to our broadcast. Start of the second quarter. Blue Devils have it, second down. And they go to the run. Not much doing there for Riley Harrison. It was a 2nd and 7 play. And now we'll have 3rd down and 7 for Culpeper. So as we start this second quarter, Cyclones leading the Cannonball Classic tonight 7-0. And Steve, when we get time, I'll get into your first quarter analysis because the Blue Devils were in there contending strongly. Had a couple miscues, if you will. And Cyclones took advantage of it. Had the 60-yard touchdown pass from Till Butler to Alex Spangler, the point after by Garrett Hutchinson. That's our score so far. Here's a quick throw to Hoffman looking to get him in space. And nothing doing there. And this is Blake Leak making the tackle for Eastern View. How about Blake Leak committing to Bucknell?
Well, Mark, that was a great signing by Bucknell. They're going to get a class kid and a quality student, and I think he's going to have success at Bucknell up there in Lafayette, in Pennsylvania. But again, what I'm looking at, they're trying to get McCray free in space, Mark. But the Blue Devils, Eastern View's swarming to the football. They have a swarming defense. So you've got to make them pay with like screen passes, draw plays, and stuff like that. Trying to run right at them sometimes is not going to be successful.
Well, that tackle by Blake Leak put Culpeper in a 4th and 8 situation. Here's Holland kicking.
Nice kick.
Pretty good kick. And he sends the return man Spangler back. Spangler finds an opening, and he takes a pretty good hit near the 45-yard line and keeps those legs churning. Nice return by Spangler, unofficially about 25 yards. And yet another penalty flag down. And this has been so, common for special teams plays to have penalties.
And Mark, it's the first game of the season, so you're going to have penalties, and officials are going to be looking for it. They are, the kids got to know the officials are going to they're going to look for everything, scrutinize everything in the first game, whereas in later games they kind of might overlook things, but this one is going to be effective. It's going to return that run, negate that run by Spangler. It's going to be either a hold or a legal block in the back against Eastern View.
They use this signal, which would be a illegal use of hands on the play, pushes it back, negates that good return as you mentioned. Well, this broadcast is made possible by CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. All right, Eastern View back on offense, leading 7-0, 10-14 to play here in the second quarter. They're going to start this one after that penalty from their own 18-yard line. Till Butler has thrown one touchdown pass so far tonight. He's back on offense. There's a little play action. Butler going to keep it, gets to the outside, and knocked out of bounds near the 25-yard line after a pickup of 7 yards. And are you looking for a penalty flag?
Yes, we are, and one in the backfield. And this one's going to bring Eastern View back even further and see what the call is. Hold.
Well, we've had a few of those tonight, and those holding penalties really hurt you, don't they?
They do, Mark. And what they got to understand, I know the coaching staff have told the kids, the officials are going to be looking at it. You've got to, block clean. You can't reach out, you can't grab, or they're going to nail you on it.
Steve, let me just say on a personal note, it's great to have you back again in this, our 22nd season of broadcasting together. And this, the 20th anniversary of that 1999 state championship team from Culpeper. What a great memory that is. I see Jeff Say's in the press box tonight working. Marshall Connor has been here. And looking around at the stands, both sides, they're filled. And this is the way it's supposed to be for a high school football game.
Coming out for a big game tonight.
We've got a whistle and stoppage. Let's check and see what this is. This might be an equipment issue. Or they reset. They've moved the ball back to the 9-yard line where it's 1st down and 20. And it looks like Butler having equipment issue. Yep. He goes to the sidelines. He's going to have to sit out a play, isn't he?
Yep, he sure is. And who's the backup quarterback? Number 16.
Caden Huseby.
Yep.
Well, that's who Coach Hatfield said would back him up. So here's Huseby in for at least one play anyway.
Let's see what he does. See if he's going to come out throwing.
Starts from the 9-yard line. He's going to hand off to Lawson. Lawson's going to look for some running room. And he's going to run into big number 56, Nathan Bryan, who slows him up. And then he gets some help from his teammates. And they tackle him there at the 15-yard line.
Yep.
We'll give him 6 yards. Bring up 2nd and 14.
It looks like
Butler back in there.
Butler's back in there.
All right, here's Butler. Long snap count. Maybe trying to look to draw the Blue Devils offside. Again, they don't take the bait.
I mean, why would you, though? It's 2nd and
14.
14.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's usually not where you do it, but I mean, if you want to pick up an easy 5 yards, I guess so.
2nd and let's call it 13. Here's Butler. Now we got a whistle. I'm not really sure what that is, but it looked like the players weren't on the same sheet of music. Dead ball, false start. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, Steve, that pushes them back to the 10-yard line and make it 2nd and 19. This isn't what we're accustomed to seeing as far as the Cyclones, but as you pointed out, first game, a little nervous, trying to work out the kinks. You're going to get your share of penalties, that's for sure. But the Blue Devils now have an opportunity here, if they can stop them on a 2nd and 19, to force something.
Right, they don't want to give up a big play here, Mark, if they got good field position.
And hasn't that been their Achilles heel over the years, giving up that big play?
Yeah.
Oh, this one batted down, deflected as the pressure came in on Butler. And let's see who gets the credit for it. They had a couple players in there. Buchanan was one of them.
And number 63, big 63 for Culpeper. Or 53.
That's Buchanan.
Yep.
There he is. Well, there's your play that brings up 3rd down and 18 from the 11-yard line. So the Blue Devil defense here in position to keep the Cyclones deep in their own territory and force a punt if they come up with a stop here. Let's see what happens. Butler, he's got time. He gets it to his receiver, and this is going to be Chance Graves, but he draws a crowd, and the Blue Devils seem to be poised for that one. And they stop him at the 11-yard line. Really no gain on the play. Brings up a 4th down and 18 and an obvious punting situation for Eastern View. So, Steve, the Blue Devil defense does its job again, and they're going to give their offensive teammates, it looks like here in theory, some excellent field position.
Mark, they are, and here's why we come after the punter. Now you don't want to get a roughing penalty here, but you want to make sure you get good field position or maybe put pressure on that punter to, make a mistake. And we'll see what happens. They've had poor snaps. Each of you has had trouble getting that ball back to the punter, so see what happens right here.
In that long snapper for Eastern View is number 24. Sure, let's see. Let's pick this up. It is D'Artagnan Sherbin. Number 24, D'Artagnan Sherbin. Steve, I got to admit, it's not a name you would hear often.
D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan.
In that Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers, yeah.
Well, the only thing is what I wanted to say here, this is Culpeper's now used their last timeout. They're 7 minutes to go here in the first half.
Well, with that timeout, I'll tell you this broadcast is made possible by UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union at 888-887-9136. And after this timeout, the Cyclones have it 4th and 18 from the 11-yard line. Steve, you've talked about putting some pressure on, maybe trying to get the block, but the last time they got the block, they also had the roughing the kicker penalty that hurt Culpeper. Let's see what they decide to do here. I mean, barring obviously a miscue, the Blue Devils rather, are all but ensured excellent field position. Now it looks like the Cyclones may have drawn the Blue Devils offside.
They did. It's going to add 5 yards, and they're still going to punt. They're not going to, Eastern View's not going to change that up. They're not going to go for it here, but.
So rather than 4th and 18, it's 4th and 13 from the 16. 7:45 to play here in the second quarter. Clock stopped with the penalty. Garrett Hutchinson will now stand inside his own 5-yard line to kick this one away. Here's yet another penalty flag down as Hutchinson, nice kick, fielded at the 40-yard line, up 45 into Cyclone territory. Down to about the 46-yard line. We got a Cyclone player shaken up. On the return there, it looks like it was number 9. Yeah, it was Cam Lacey. And the injured Cyclone shaken up is Josh Logan, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like it is, Mark. And then we got a penalty here, but they picked it up. So it looks like it's not going to be a penalty. It looks like the officials picked it up.
Well, Culpeper will have excellent. Let's see who this is. Henry Wolf, the trainer, is attending to the player, still down.
And see, the longtime trainer for Eastern View is no longer there. Josh Newagate, or I forget his name, but he's moved on. So,
well, Culpeper has old reliable Henry Wolf back.
Yep.
And a couple of the coaches, head coach Hatfield and assistant coach Adams, are out there attending to the player. Let's take a break. And, we'll scratch that because he's back up on his feet, which is a good thing. And that is Josh Logan, Jr., shaken up on the special teams play on the punt return.
Now let's see if Culpeper can do some offensive. They're in Eastern View territory, Mark. And see if they can put together a drive here right before half and try to go into not this score and tie it up.
All right, if you're just tuning in, we have 7:36 to play here in the second quarter. We are at Broman Field for the annual Cannonball Classic, and this kicks off the season for both teams and us. And Eastern View leads 7-0. Their touchdown came in the first quarter on the 60-yard pass reception from Till Butler to Alex Spangler, and then the point after by Garrett Hutchinson. Now the Blue Devils will start this series. Excellent field position. They're in Eastern View territory at the 46-yard line. They go to the run. This is Harrison. He lost his footing once he got inside the 45 to the 44, and here's another penalty flag. And we've had a few of those tonight. I think when we mic up Jeff Say at the half, he'll probably have tallied those, and that's a department that you don't want to have big numbers in, but both teams tonight have already here in the first half have picked up some penalties. So this is working against the defense.
Yeah, it's a horse collar tackle, Mark, against the defense of Eastern View. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty right there, and help for the Blue Devils moving deep into the Eastern View. Eastern View territory.
All the way down to the 29-yard line where it's 1st and 10. So, Steve, I think you would agree. This is an opportunity for the Blue Devils to, with a short field, to come away with something here on this drive.
It is, Mark, and they need to take advantage of this opportunity right here.
All right. This is Plaster, the quarterback. And he's got Harrison back there. He fakes it to Harrison. He keeps it. That's something that Till Butler's been doing for Eastern View tonight with much more success. Not as much running room there for this Culpeper quarterback when you think about Eastern View's swarming defense.
And Mark, again, I lament this, and I always will say this, but if you had a good tight end against with the defense right now that Eastern View's playing, you could torch them for a touchdown.
Well,
and we don't have one.
Well, think about that 99 Culpeper championship team. Brandon Lambert,
Yep.
Ryan Back.
Daniel Winning played sometimes.
I mean, they're the tight end, and it was someone they utilized as a receiver, not just a blocker. All right, short pickup of a yard by Plaster at 2nd and 9. He's got some time going downfield. This one nearly picked off. Came into double coverage. He was trying to get it to the Juror McCray. And the Blue Devil and the Cyclones, rather, Blake Leak coming over and making the play for Eastern View.
And it was almost caught, though, by McCray, too. He almost made a good play in the ball. I thought, for a chance, he had it for a second. But again, it was the ball wasn't thrown quite, accurately. It was kind of wobbly. So if it had more zip on it, it would have gotten there, and then McCray would have had it for a touchdown. But the way the ball was thrown, it allowed for Eastern View, the other secondary, to close in on it, the other defensive backs to close in on that ball.
All right, here's a 3rd and 9 now. The Blue Devils load up that right side. Ball is loose. It's a fumble because of the hard hit against Riley Harrison, and Eastern View says they have it. Let's see. Yeah, they do have it. They force a fumble. Steve, the guy making the big hit was big number 69 for Eastern View. He came in there. That was Jordan Breckley.
But, Mark, there was also a blitzing linebacker on the play that made the play, too, that came in and caused basically broke up that fumble. And, basically caused the fumble after the hit. But it was, again, Culpeper. That wasn't what Culpeper wanted to do, Mark. I said earlier in the pregame, turnovers and penalties. And I know Coach Hatfield is going to go in and talk to his Cyclone team about the penalty. Got to clean it up. Culpeper's got their share, too. But Culpeper now has gotten 2 mistakes that have cost them big opportunities in this game.
Eastern View forced that fumble on a very good, solid defensive play. Where they came in, and Breckley made that big hit on Harrison. He coughed it up. Cyclones recovered it, and they foiled a Blue Devil threat. They were in position maybe to come away with some points, and they were denied. And the score remains the same, 7-0. Eastern View takes back over on offense. That means Till Butler and company. And they'll start this one from their own 30-yard line. Butler going to fake it, going to keep it, look for running room. Left tackle takes a pretty good hit, but not brought down until he gets out to about the 37, 38-yard line.
Is there another, looks like the official.
Yeah, far side there, Steve. You're looking at the penalty flag near the sidelines.
And again, this is a flag fest, Mark, in this first half. The officials, I'm getting a little frustrated. The officials will let him play.
Steve, I think that signal indicated a sideline warning. Yeah.
Okay. But the officials like to throw the laundry today.
Well, they've been busy.
Yep.
So, sideline warning, not a penalty at this point. 2nd down and about 1 yard to go for Eastern View. They have it at their 38-yard line. And now the clock continues to run. Under 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter of this Cannonball Classic. Cyclones up 7-0. Here's Till Butler on 2nd down and short. They go to Lawson. Lawson will have a 1st down, and he'll dive forward to the 45-yard line. He needed a yard or 2, and he picked up 7, and a Cyclone 1st down. Well, this broadcast is made possible by Able Heating and Air, able to keep your family comfortable through every season. That's Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. And I can attest personally to their quality of work. All right. 1st and 10 Cyclones from their own 45-yard line. 5:25 to play. Second quarter action. Broman Field is the place. The Cannonball Classic is the ticket. We got a whistle and yet stoppage again. And I think this is going to probably work against the Cyclones. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks like someone started a little early, Mark. We'll see. It's just like in every first game, your timing's not there. And the officials, like I said, are going to be looking for it.
5-yard penalty.
Push them back to the 40-yard line.
And like you said, it's got to be very frustrating.
Well, we're down to 5:15 to play. The clock is ticking. Ball pushed back to the 40-yard line where it's 1st and 15. And the Cyclones until Butler take their time. Now they come to the line of scrimmage and set. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Leak is at the top of your screen. And they have not yet thrown to him. They may this time. This one, they do throw it to Leak. He makes a diving catch, it looks like. And they do call it a catch. Just as we mentioned his name, he comes up with the catch for, this is a short game, but you know, you knew it was just a matter of time before they got him into the flow and mix of this offense.
Well, you want to get the ball in your best athlete's hands, Mark, and that's exactly what the Cyclones are trying to do.
We've got a 2nd down and 8 right here. Leak top of your screen, 4 receivers set. Butler looks to the sidelines. Clock running, 4:20, 2nd quarter. Talked about the size that the Blue Devils have up front this year. And they need to try to get some pressure back there in that backfield. Lawson runs away from that first tackler, gets into the open field, and picks up big yardage, and a penalty flag comes in late after the tackle there.
They're either going to be a face mask against the Blue Devils or a late hit or a late block in the back against Eastern View. Let's see what the call is here. It might negate this run by Rock Lawson.
I'm trying to look at the demeanor of the players there. They're listening to the dead ball.
Horse collar.
Was that a horse collar call? Or is it a personal foul? Oh, helmet to helmet contact. Helmet foul.
I get so mad at that helmet to helmet contact. It's football. For you know what? For the love of might. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's football.
First down for the Cyclones.
Well, a lot of that's going to be what, incidental on the play or helmets collide.
Exactly.
He must have felt like the defender deliberately used his helmet on the play. Let's say they have it marked there at the 21-yard line. It's 1st and 10 now for the Cyclones. They're in Blue Devil territory, almost in that red zone. They're throwing for Leak. Oh, he goes up, one-handed catch.
Oh.
Unbelievable. That's Odell Beckham-like.
It was Odell, but it's out of bounds.
Oh, my gosh, Steve. I was going to say, did you see that play? And obviously you did. The one-hander by Blake Leak goes up for it. And you're saying they ruled him out of bounds, right?
Yeah, they ruled him out of bounds. We can go to replay and watch this.
Yeah. Even if he didn't score, that's a catch that's going to be up there.
Watch this play. Look at where Blake Leak, he just leaped up there. That's why he's an all-state wide receiver, one-handed Odell Beckham, but he landed out of bounds.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's going to have more opportunities. Here's Lawson, and they'll wrap him up at about the 15-yard line. Picked up 6 yards on the play. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And about 4. And the clock runs at 3:25 to play. 3rd and 4 Cyclones. Now from the Blue Devil 15-yard line. Late in the 2nd quarter. Here's Lawson. Lawson with the carry. He's going to be down close to the 10-yard line. And he should have enough for a Cyclone 1st down. That'll be, if he does, it'll be 1st and goal. Looks like they're going to mark it right at the 10. So it's 1st and goal from there.
1st and goal mark right from there. And again, he got enough to get that 1st down, but I think right now we're going to see a dose of Rock Lawson. And maybe, with, like I said, they're going to try to maybe do a little play action and try to see if they can get something to Blake Leak on a fade.
Yeah, so the Rock is back there with Till Butler on 1st and goal from the 10. Man in motion. Butler going to keep it. Up the middle he goes. And they're going to stop him just short of that goal line as Butler was headed to the end zone. Now they'll have a 2nd and goal from the 1.
Again, that was just it was really a design play by Till Butler to run right up the middle. You get the defense of the Blue Devils flowing one way and going back against the other.
All right, will it be Butler or Lawson? Assuming they stick to the run. It's Lawson. Straight ahead he goes. And is he in? No signal yet.
No signal from the referee.
All right, so they stop him.
I can't go in there and say, you can't smell what the Rock's been cooking. He's cooking up a touchdown.
All right, we got a 3rd and goal here from the 1, we'll call it.
Yep.
Do they go Lawson? Do they go Butler? They go Butler. And he gets into the end zone from 1 yard out. Till Butler, his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, it's a hurricane, storm coming. Shut the windows, lock the doors. It's a cyclone touchdown. Till Butler from 1 yard out. And he ran by behind big 99 mark for Eastern View, but I don't have him on the roster.
Well, maybe we can find him at the break then.
Yep, another phantom number. We have it every year.
Well, you know,
phantom strikes in the first game.
He had made a big play earlier, and I didn't find him on the roster, and I thought maybe it was a number recognition mistake I'd made. Maybe I had thought I had seen 99. Butler the holder, Garrett Hutchinson the kicker. Here's the snap. They get it down. Hutchinson's kick is up and good. And it's 14-0 in favor of Eastern View with 1:56 to play here in this second quarter. Well, you know, this broadcast is made possible by Mama Mae's. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good. Only at Mama Mae's, 829-9200. Well, Steve, if you're Culpeper, what are you thinking about this first half right now? Because to me, you got if I'm one of the Blue Devils, I'm thinking we've had some opportunities, and we've sort of let them slip away.
They have, Mark. I mean, the thing is, what I'm seeing is the Blue Devils are in this ball game, but penalties and mistakes have killed them, and that's allowed Eastern View 2 scores. One, the score, you know, it always happens in high school football. The Blue Devils thought they made a big play in that block punt. They're called for roughing the punter, and next thing you know, next play, a touchdown. There's giving up a touchdown. So the Blue Devils here got to take care of this ball in the 1:56 left here in the first half, and either, you know, try to make the score, but if not, don't turn it over and give Cyclones a chance to put up another score here before halftime. They want to go in only down 14-0. They can help it.
All right, Garrett Hutchinson will kick off. Here's his kick. It's a good one. Fielded inside the 5-yard line. Lacey got across the 20 and cut down shy of the 25-yard line.
Can hold on to that football, Mark.
And the tackler there was number 12 for Eastern View, Devin Ovando. All right, so your Culpeper here. What do you think works for you, Steve? You don't have a tight end that you talk about. What can you go to right here?
Well, I mean, you're going to, Riley Harrison's going to run the football, but you want to run clock, Mark, because you don't want to go 3 and out and force a punt or have the Eastern View try to block the punt. You know, and give them good field position, and they come back with their weapon and try to get a quick score. So basically, I think it's important here that the Blue Devils at least pick up a first down.
1:50 on the clock. Riley Harrison, your ball carrier, goes straight ahead. Got across the 25. They stop him short of the 30-yard line. And the clock will run. Like you were saying, work the clock. You don't want to give the ball back to Eastern View for Culpeper. Harrison a little shaken up on the play, and here's Cameron Buchanan coming to the sidelines.
Yeah, he's the two-way player, is giving him a blow. But, Mark, you got big offensive line. You got to run behind him.
Picked up 5 yards. Play action. This one caught. Open field. This will be a Blue Devil first down as they got inside Cyclone territory. And it's Armani Hoffman on the reception.
Hoffman on the reception. Good play there by Plaster, the quarterback. Good play fake, Mark. And that's what the Blue Devils need to do to move this football.
Culpeper has it. Eastern View side of midfield at the 49-yard line. 1:12 to play. Second quarter. 1st and 10 from there. Here's Plaster throwing near side. Incomplete. Intended for McRae. He was open, unable to hold on to it. Coming over there in defense.
And you got
Chance Graves of Eastern View.
Mark, number 2 is Crenshaw, JoJo Crenshaw in the battle of the quarterback with Plaster. He's playing in a wide receiver. He's 6'5". I would be finding a way to get him the football. You know, either on a post pattern or something over the middle. But you got to find a way to get him the football. He's big and tall, and he should be able to go up and get it.
All right, let's see if they are like mine. 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line. They go to the run. nothing doing. And they're going to stop the ball carrier there at the line of scrimmage.
23, looks like number 23, Mark.
It's Austin Lentz. Getting dark in here.
Yep.
Hard on my eyesight. Now, if you're young like Jeff say, you just roll with it.
Yep.
Here's a Hoffman diving forward, a little short of a first down, but that's if you're the Blue Devils, you're going to manage this clock and try to come up with something here. They're going to have a 4th down and about 1 with 25 seconds to play in the second. Quick throw, incomplete. And I think the receiver must have taken his eyes off that one because it looks like the ball was there. Pick up that number. Is that number 8?
Number 8.
Okay. And at the half, I'm going to see if I can search for some light. You got to. I'm going to look. You got to see it to call it. Can't see it. Yeah, all right. Now, incomplete pass means the Blue Devils have turned it over on downs. And with 23 seconds to play in this first half, Eastern View's offense comes back onto the field with the line of scrimmage at the 40-yard line.
And, Mark, they don't want to turn over or give up a big play to the Cyclones. And they look like they're not going to kneel on it, Mark. And I have a feeling you look for Blake Leak or Spangler on a big, wide-open post pattern, if Butler gets the time to throw it.
All right, here's Butler. Short pass. This is Leak. And they tackle him right at that first down marker, which is at midfield. Clock is stopped, 15.5 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Eastern View calls a timeout. And this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. That's Found & Sons at 825-3530. And Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive at 547-3673. We are grateful for each and every one of our supporters of Blue Devils and Cyclones football this season. Right now I'm counting 6. Found & Sons, Battlefield Automotive, CFC Farm and Home Center, UVA Community Credit Union, Able Heating and Air, and Mama Mae's. We are grateful for each and every one of them.
Absolutely.
And after this timeout, Cyclones will have it 1st and 10 from midfield. Blake Leak, 2 catches tonight. He's played well on defense.
He has, Mark, and he's also played well on offense. And you're going to want, and I'm impressed the way Till Butler's handled it.
Well, he's having a tough time getting a handle on that one. A little bit of some troubles with that snap tonight.
Yep. It looks like it'll be timeout again, Eastern View. Till dropped the football, but that was a bad snap.
Yeah, the ball down at the 45-yard line, where it would be 3rd and 15. 11.4 seconds to play in this second quarter. And this broadcast is made possible by CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. So CFC Farm and Home Center in business since 1932. Maybe you can think of something else famous that happened that year, Steve.
Well, that was FDR got elected, right?
Was it 32?
Mm-hmm. Sure was.
Well, that was, we read about in history books because it was before our time, wasn't it? All right.
A little bit before.
All right, here's 2nd and 15. Butler. Here comes some pressure. He fumbles. Let's see who's got it. Well, that pocket just collapsed, Steve.
Yeah, it sure did.
It looks like the Cyclones are covered.
And it's just going to let them, that's going to end the half, Mark.
That's how the half will end. The two teams will go to the intermission with our score. Cyclones 14, Blue Devils nothing. When we come back for the start of the third, we'll mic up Jeff Say for his first half analysis. Stay tuned. You're watching the Cannonball Classic on the Culpeper Media Network.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air.
Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years.
Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. CFC Farm and Home Center, hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams and do your best.
Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama May's. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast. We have just finished the intermission here at Broman Field in this, the annual Cannonball Classic 2019. And a game that in series totally dominated by Eastern View. They've won every meeting between Culpeper. But Steve Peacock, 14-0 in favor of the Cyclones. And I was just telling Steve that it's 14-0 in favor of the Cyclones. And really, when you think about it, Culpeper is still contending in this game. It's not going to, like other previous meetings between these two teams where Eastern View had a blowout, Culpeper trails 14-0, and they probably had some opportunities that just simply slipped away. And here in the second half, they'll be kicking off to Eastern View.
Well, they're only down 14-0, so they're not out of the ball game by any stretch of any means. But what they're going to have to do, Mark, is they had penalties and turnovers. Penalties of what killed Culpeper, and I go back to the big play on the block punt. They had Eastern View stopped. They get a penalty for roughing the punter. Next thing you know, next play, big touchdown for the Eastern View Cyclones. So, and that kind of, I'm just hoping it didn't break the back of Culpeper. It didn't look like they came back and played hard, but then they allowed a score right before half. So we'll see what the attitude, now the mindset of the Blue Devils is right now. They start the second half.
And here is their kickoff to start the second half. This one's going to bounce down and be picked up at inside the 10-yard line. Breaking a tackle, then getting across the 30, out to about the 33. Was the return man, Alex Spangler. And
the younger brother of Cameron Spangler, who's playing for William & Mary, and he might see some time. And the other player that used to play for Eastern View that walked on at UVA, Cohen King, is impressed UVA and maybe played his way to the special teams. UVA plays Pittsburgh on Saturday.
Yeah, okay, so didn't get a chance to mic up any of our guests as we thought. However, Jeff Say has provided some statistics that we'll pass on to you when we can. Right now, as we start the third quarter, Eastern View will start on offense from its own 33-yard line. Till Butler, the quarterback. Lawson, the ball carrier, finds an opening. And out across the 45-yard line to the 47. A pickup of 14 yards to start things for Eastern View.
And Mark, give the ball to Rock Lawson. Just keep making run. We've got a new number in Culpeper in the defense, number 44. And he was in on that tackle.
And that would be Quentin Butler. And now first and 10 Cyclones from their own 47-yard line. If you're just tuning in, it's 14-0 Eastern View. Lawson again, the ball carrier. And he's starting to look to me like quite a bit like Trey Holmes out there, Steve.
And that's the Eastern View mantra right there, Mark. Hand off the ball to the running back, let it chew up clock. That's their offense. And that's the way Coach Greg Heffy wants to play, run, and then hit him with the pass.
Back-to-back runs by Lawson. He picked up 14 yards on the first try and 11 here. And back-to-back first downs. First and 10, Eastern View at the Culpeper 41. Here comes the Blue Devil blitz. Unless they backpedal out of there. Butler looks to the sidelines, maybe for some instructions. So Eastern View has it, Blue Devil territory at the 41-yard line. Opening minute here this third quarter at Broman Field. Here's Butler in the pitch to Lawson. Lawson gets behind those linemen and takes advantage of that. 8 or 9 yards on the play. So in 3 carries, if you got 8 yards, Steve, 25-33, he's averaging 10 yards a carry in 3 carries.
And he runs hard, Mark. I mean, he's just running right through the left side of that Blue Devil defense, and they've got to figure out how to stop him. The linebackers got to get more aggressive, and they've got to make hits.
Second down and 1. Here he goes again, Lawson. No problem picking up first down yardage. And he's just becoming a load out there. But it looks like we may have a penalty flag. It's in that offensive backfield. And I wanted to, go ahead, Steve.
It's going to be a holding call against the Eastern View. It sure is. And that's going to negate that first down run.
Well, I was wondering if Jeff might tally those penalty yards eventually, but maybe he will. Butler in that first half, 4 of 8 passing, 78 yards, 60 of those on that touchdown pass to Spangler.
Yep.
And rushing, 11 carries, 50 yards. Rock Lawson, 13 carries for 68. Culpeper had 64 yards total offense. Ball is back at the 44-yard line now. Where it is, 2nd down and 12.
Until Butler's getting the play from the sideline.
Blake Leak, top of your screen. And at the bottom, Alex Spangler there. 4 receivers set. They fake it. Butler keeps it. And he gets into that secondary. Good run by Butler. Going to bring up a 3rd and short. Check the spot.
Looks like
to be about the 34.
Yeah, but it's going to be short.
Picked up 10, bring up 3rd and 2. Well, I'm sorry, 3rd and 12 because he had the penalty. Had a penalty flag as well. Let's see. There it is there, looking for the call.
And Mark, number 50 is in the offensive line for Eastern View. Is only a freshman.
Hey, Steve, personal foul, face mask against Culpeper.
Wow.
That's a big one.
It's a big one. Another penalty, another backbreaker for Culpeper. Mark, I was just commenting. It's very unheard of that freshman starting up front for the Eastern View Cyclones. Number 50, Braden Walker. He's 9th grader, 6 foot, 250 pounds.
You have him at center there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now the Cyclones have it 1st and 10 at the Blue Devil 19-yard line. Here's Butler getting to the outside, lowers his shoulder, and 2 or 3 Blue Devils had to combine on the tackle.
And see, that's where Till's going to have to be careful, Mark. Lowering that shoulder and exposing himself. He's their quarterback, and he takes, he broke that collarbone 2 years ago. You just don't want to take another direct hit like that. So
got down to the 13, 6-yard pickup, 2nd down and 4. And we may have is this an injury timeout? It looks like it is.
Got an injured Blue Devil player on the field.
Steve at the
who is it?
This is number 8.
Number 8.
And that is Osman Reindorf.
That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right, but that is number 8, right?
Yeah.
Osman Reindorf wears number 8 on the roster here. He's listed as
listed as a defensive back. It might be.
All right, let's see what his dimensions are. Yeah, defensive back, wide receiver, senior, number 8.
Number 8, Osman Reindorf.
He says the same.
He's jogging off on his own.
Oh, I tell you what, while we have a minute here as Eastern View comes back on the field, let me say congratulations to the Peacock family because you just welcomed another granddaughter.
Yeah, welcome my 2nd grandchild, Crosby Peacock, Crosby Prue Peacock, born in Memphis, Tennessee, to my son Daniel and his wife Price. Very healthy baby girl, and my wife is, grandma's going down to Memphis to see the baby next week.
Well, congratulations, Steve, as they hand off to Lawson again. I tell you, Lawson and Butler, that 1-2 combination tonight for Eastern View. They're looking at a 2nd and 4. We'll check the spot here in just a second. Looks like it's going to be a 1st down, and it's going to make it 1st and goal, I believe. Anyway, going back, congratulations as your family welcomes a baby girl. And this is your son's first child, right?
First child, yep.
And you have, of course, your daughter, Erin. She's up in New York.
New York, and she has a son, Holden, and he's going to be 2 in November.
All right, well, congratulations once more. And I know you're happy. I think I'll tell you something here in a second. Here's Butler. Play action. He's going to keep it. There goes Butler, headed to the end zone. He's in from 7 yards out.
And it's locked the doors, close the windows. It's a Cyclone touchdown. Till Butler from 7 yards out. Now makes the score 20-0.
Comes with 8:38 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Garrett Hutchinson will come on in a moment for the point after unless they opt for 2, and I don't think they will here. Yeah, so Hutchinson is in. Butler, who just scored the touchdown, is the holder. And so the Cyclones extend their lead. And here is Hutchinson looking to tack on the extra point. Butler gets it down. It wasn't the best of snaps, but this one, and it wasn't pretty, but it didn't have to be, did it?
Knuckleballed it right over.
Got over that crossbar. 21-0 in favor of the Cyclones. And we'll tell you, this broadcast is made possible by UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union at 888-887-9136.
Looks like number 1 for Culpeper is injured, and he's cramp. Looks like a cramp problem.
Well, that would be DeJure McCray.
Yep. It looks like he's suffering some cramps out there.
And he's really one of their top skilled players, isn't he?
Yes, he sure is. They need him.
Also, I want to tell you this broadcast is made possible by Able Heating and Air. Able to keep your family comfortable through every season. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. Well, Mark O'Connell, Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk with you tonight on behalf of the Culpeper Media Network. And in the press box, Jeff Say. He's passed on some statistics for us, so we shared with you a moment ago. Marshall Connor's here, and he recently wrote a tribute to that 1999 state championship Blue Devil team. Next week, I believe, is the game that the Blue Devil staff plans on, administration rather, plans on dedicating or honoring the 99 team, Steve.
Yep, but next week they want to honor the 99 team 20th anniversary of Culpeper's only state championship in football, the Division V AAA state championship. And Mark, what a season that was! I still remember it like it's yesterday.
Yeah, you know, there's so many memories, and they were so indelible. You know, it's like I feel like as long as I have my mental faculties, I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Yep.
All right, here's Lacey on the return. 20, bursting forward across the 25, out to about the 28. Decent field position for Culpeper. Steve, I don't mean to jinx things for them, but when you think about the rivalry and you think about Eastern View's tendencies, if you're the Blue Devils and you're trailing 21-0 here in the third quarter, you can't botch any more opportunities. You've got to start taking it to them, or it's just going to be a foregone conclusion.
Well, they need to start throwing it, Mark. They need to go deep. They can't just run this ball and 3 and 4 yards, and they got to sit there and start throwing. Brandon Newt's got to let him out, open it up. Donald Downs, offense coordinator, got to let it loose now. You're down 21 points now. And Eastern View's going to be hungry and trying to come after.
Here's Lentz, the ball carrier, reversing direction and picking up about 7 yards on the play. He got out to the 35. Let's check the tackle. It was big number 78 for Eastern View, and that's Elijah Hoskins. He's a junior, 6'3", 265 pounds.
And see, Mark, Culpeper doesn't have the luxury this year of a weak schedule. I mean, last year they had some weaker teams in that Division III Northwestern District. Now they're bumped up to 4, and now they've got likes of Sharando, Millbrook, Jameswood, Liberty, Fauquier, Kettle Run. So they've got to.
Well, this one was lofted up in the air, and the Blue Devils can be thankful that Chance Graves unable to get a handle on it, but he was certainly in position.
Yep, and it was intended for number 23 for Culpeper. It looks like he came off the field shaken up a little bit.
Well, that's Austin Lentz.
Yeah, it looks like he came a little bit shaken up. But again, what I was saying is this, now they've moved up in classification. I mean, that Northwestern District, that's a tough 4A, with those 4A schools up there. Culpeper, like I said, they can't rely anymore on a weaker schedule. They've got to really, play hard and see what they can do against tough Eastern View squad here.
Here comes the pressure, and here's the Plaster, the running back. We got a penalty flag down at the 35-yard line. Cyclones came with the heat on a 3rd and 3 situation.
Yeah, they came with the heat and everything. There's a flag in the play. Could it be a face mask thrown in? Or it looks like the Culpeper players are pointing against them. It is going to be a face mask. It's going to be a 5-yard or 15.
56 pointing the offensive lineman, Nathan Bryan. And you can hear the officials, so you watch the players' reaction. It's working with you or against you.
It was enough for a first down, so.
Wouldn't that have been – okay, yeah. All right, they mark it now at the 42-yard line. So it is a 1st and 10 now for Culpeper. 7:41 to play here in the third quarter. Blue Devils trail to the Cyclones 21-0. And looks like we've got a replacement there at quarterback, and that's McCray. So this is sort of a glimpse of Javay Cole call from last year, where you have your quarterback taking a direct snap, running the ball. He got to the 44-yard line, it looked like. Gain only of 2 yards. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I'm surprised they're not giving a chance to for Crenshaw to be in there throwing the football as well. But
have you had a chance to see Crenshaw in action on the JV level?
He didn't play last year at JV. He was a basketball player, and he was encouraged this year by Coach Ford to come on out. And because he's 6'5", 6'6", I saw him play basketball. He's a heck of a basketball player.
McCray stays in there as a quarterback, and he fakes it to Harrison, and he keeps it. Now this is a big gainer and a big shot in the arm for the Blue Devils as into Eastern View territory down at the 44-yard line. Picked up 12 yards and a Blue Devil first down.
He did, Mark. That was a good play right there because he ran around and stopped and then let the pursuit, over pursue, and he cut back with that cutback run, and he was able to pick up 12 yards. Caught the Cyclones napping on that play.
Gives the Blue Devils a little life there and energy on this series as they now have 1st and 10, Eastern View 44-yard line. We are approaching the midway mark of this third quarter with Eastern View currently pitching a shutout, and of course plenty of time here for both teams. But the Blue Devils have no time to waste, that's for sure. This is McCray, and this time they do a good job of bottling him up after maybe a 1-yard pickup, and it'll bring up 2nd and long.
And it might be looking like they're going to the Javay Coclaw offense like with McCray, just picking up and picking his spots. But again, you got to watch out. He has suffered some cramps, and looks like he's got to come out. He's got an equipment issue.
Picked up 1 yard.
So number 9's going back in.
Well, that's Cam Lacey, and now number 11, of course, would be Josh Plaster, the quarterback. He's a senior. Lacey's a junior. McCray, he's a senior. All right, they go back to Plaster here. It's 2nd and 9. Blue Devils from the Cyclone 43. 4 receivers set, 2 to each side. Plaster, hands off. This is Lentz. Lentz looking for a little running room. Got inside the 40 to the 39, maybe the 38. Bring up 3rd down. They're going to mark it at 39. He picked up 4 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
We don't have the stats on Lentz, how big he is or anything, do we, Mark?
Lentz, let's see. No. We don't have the height and weight on the roster. Ball now at the 39-yard line.
And it's important that Culpeper score in this drive, Mark. I really do think that they could, possibly, send a message to Eastern View. They're going to try to get back in this game, but can't have any turnovers here.
All right, here's a 3rd and 5. Oh, the ball's over the head of the quarterback. Gets loose. Eastern View's in position to recover it. Looks like they have. Well, right when the Blue Devils were driving and had it 3rd and 5 at the Eastern View 39-yard line, we got a botched snap over the head of Placer. He had no shot at trying to bring that one in, and then they raced for it, and Eastern View was all over.
And Mark, what did I say? They need to score in this drive and not have a big turnover, and exactly what happened. 64, the center, is the one who, he's upset, and the teammates are trying to control, but he snapped it over the head of the quarterback.
And you know what? If you're the coach on either team, you can coach them up all you want, but you have no control over a play like that.
No,
you just watch it, and you got to feel the disgust with it.
Eastern View knows that play all too well, Mark, as we all know.
All right, 1st and 10 now, Cyclones at the Blue Devil 43-yard line. We've got a stoppage here.
A penalty.
All right. Well, we'll tell you, this broadcast is made possible by Mama Mays. Our new location on Sperryville Pike offers the same fresh pizza and subs. Always fresh, always good, and only at Mama Mays at 829-9200.
Well, Mark, the snap over the head, like I said, we remember Eastern View remembers that all too well last year. Lake Taylor.
All right, here's Lawson. dragging one defender. That was Riley Harrison, who held on until reinforcements came, and they stopped him shy of the 45-yard line.
And Eastern View is going to be, I think they want to go for another big score here, and then they're going to be content to try to run the ball.
Here's second down and about 13 for Eastern View from the Culpeper 47-yard line. That's Till Butler. Butler, play action. And he's being tackled in the backfield, and that's one of the few negative plays on this Eastern View offense that the Blue Devils have come up with. And Butler did a nice job of, I thought, with the fake to Lawson, but 2 or 3 of those Blue Devil linemen were not faked out by that.
No, because they didn't, the offensive line didn't hold their blocks very well on that one. And again, but the other thing is with Till is that, in Eastern View's trying to, their offensive line's getting used to his cadence and everything else, is he has a tendency to have a little bit of happy feet in that pocket a little bit, and he's got to, get rid of the ball quicker. Can't hold on to it too long.
All right, the 48-yard line. Here comes Blue Devil pressure, and the line pick it up. Butler's got time. He throws this one in traffic and incomplete, but I think they're throwing a penalty flag in there as well as number 3 for Culpeper. That's Armani Hoffman. Celebrates the good play. I thought I saw a penalty flag thrown.
I did too. I thought it was going to be interference. There's one down there.
There it is right there. The interference signaled by the referee against Culpeper, and that's a blow because the Blue Devils looked like they had come up with a big third down stop.
They sure did, and we'll see what the eventual call is.
But remember, the interference penalty isn't assessed at the point of violation. It's from the line of scrimmage, right?
15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. They're marking it off now. I didn't see the interference, so.
Yeah, it's sort of hard to pick up unless it's really obvious. So here's the pass interference. It's not an automatic first down. They mark it off, and they're just a little bit short.
Right.
Call it 3rd and 1, and they now have it at the 34-yard line. Till Butler, Rock Lawson in the backfield. Butler, low snap, takes it. Straight ahead he goes, and he will have a Cyclone first down. In on the tackle, coming up, last man up there, big number 53, Cameron Buchanan. Line of scrimmage now the 30. Needed a yard, he picked up 4. Did Till Butler. 1st and 10 Eastern View. They lead 21-0 with 3:41 to play here in this 3rd quarter. This is the annual Cannonball Classic and the season debut for both teams, and our debut as well from a broadcasting standpoint. Great to be with you tonight. Great crowd on hand. The bleachers are full, and just like a high school football game should be, Rock Lawson was wrapped up, and holding on there was Josh Holland, number 10, or Joseph Holland rather.
Mm-hmm.
Makes the tackle at the line of scrimmage, or after a 5-yard pickup rather. They mark it now at the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5 from that spot. As the clock continues to run, we approach the 3-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Till Butler. And this is Lawson. Bounces outside that pack. As he looked for an opening, he got inside the 20, and that should be enough for a Cyclone first down.
And Mark, like I said, the Cyclones are going to be just content at running the football right here, run that clock and wear down that Blue Devil defense, and that's exactly what's happening right now with the Blue Devil defense. They're getting worn down, and when you get worn down like that, you have a tendency to make mistakes.
Well, they played well in that first half, and they actually put their teammates in position maybe to do something on the offensive side of the ball, but that did not come to fruition. Now here's Eastern View looking to grind it out, use the clock, maybe get another score, and take their time, milk the clock, do all those things. They're in control. They can set this tempo and stay right with it. We're down to 2:20 to play, 3rd quarter, and they have the ball at the looks like the 12. I'll call it the 13 rather. Lawson again, the ball carrier, and they stop him after a short pickup. He'll get down, it looks like, to the 10. And we got a whistle. And we've had a few of those and a few penalties here tonight.
There's another penalty. I didn't see a flag.
Yeah, I just see that they stopped the play. They're sorting it out. They've marked it at the 10-yard line.
The officials, and the other thing is, these games take too long like this when the officials stop play on every other play, and as a penalty against the Blue Devils. I didn't see the flag.
Yeah, and what about the signal with the hand across the chest like that?
That's too many men on the field.
Penalty goes against the Blue Devils. It looks like a 5-yard penalty.
Down to the 5-yard line.
Results in a first down for the Cyclones.
They got too many people on the field.
All right.
Or that or legal substitution.
I think, you know what? I think that's what the signal was,
illegal
substitution. So, moves the ball 5 yards to the 5-yard line. First and goal from that spot. Lawson gets the first crack at it, and the Blue Devil defense stops him at the line of scrimmage. Several players in on the play, including
makes it second and goal.
number 23, Austin Lentz. Second and goal from the 5.
And Eastern View will be content to let this clock just run on down and get into the fourth quarter.
Well, Eastern View's run off 11 plays on this drive. They started this one on the Culpeper 43. They've got it now, second and goal from the 5. Will it be Butler? Will it be Lawson? It's going to be Lawson. And he was sort of like a pinball. He was behind that pack, and he just sort of sprung out of there.
Yep.
And he got down, looks like, to the 2-yard line.
And see, the thing is, Mark, too, Culpeper only had 64 yards total offense in the first half, and they've only had the ball one possession so far in this third quarter. You're not going to win games when you don't get on the field.
All right, we've got a third down and goal from the 1-yard line. Culpeper calls a timeout to think about its defensive alignment here. Well, this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, investing in youth at all levels to help make tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. And Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Battlefield Automotive at 547-3673. Minute 3 to play in this one. You're looking at the Blue Devil cheerleaders there. And really springing into life tonight. I was watching them in their pregame drills, Steve. They were doing things that guys like you and I should not try at home.
Don't think I'll be doing any of those.
Do not try this at home. You better be agile. You better have some spring. You better have some confidence, athletic ability and conditioning and all those things.
You got it.
And I've always been amazed with people that do those backward somersaults. Anyway, back to the gridiron. It's third and goal from the 1. Here's Lawson. Dives over from 1. Touchdown, Eastern View.
Smell what the Rock's been cooking. Lock the doors, shut the windows. It's a Cyclone touchdown from Rock Lawson. 1 yard out.
Comes with exactly 1 minute remaining in this third quarter. And, Steve, the Cyclones kept it on the ground, grinded it out.
That touchdown's good.
Used the clock. And I've got them running off about 12 plays on that drive.
Touchdown good, but I think it's unsportsmanlike against Eastern View, and that'll be
assessed on the kickoff, which will be the second time tonight that's happened.
Yep.
27-0 our score with a minute to play in the third.
Our girls have been doing a great job on our sideline.
Garrett Hutchinson on for the point after. He's 3 of 3 so far. Till Butler, the quarterback, will be the holder.
Brooklyn Bragg.
And let's pick up the long snapper, Steve. Give me a number there. Is it 70?
Looks like 89.
89? Important role, number 89. He's
we
got
don't
it.
have a number.
Well,
another phantom. the long snapper phantom.
long snapper incognito. Butler the hold. Hutchinson the kick. He's 4 for 4. It's 28-0 Eastern View.
The phantom snapper.
You know, who was I talking to in recent years about the appeal of having your son or someone who wants to play football develop into a long snapper because it's such a specialized position?
Oh, yeah. Now colleges are having trouble recruiting. I was reading an article on the internet. They're having trouble. 24/7 Sports, they were having trouble recruiting long snappers, and because it's a skill really not developed, and the high school they put anybody can throw get the ball back there, but now colleges are really trying to offer scholarships just for long snapping, and because it's an art, and you've got to be able to, and it's a skill, and if you're good at it, you can play 4 years of college and all the way even get into the pros. But the problem is you got to, being a long snapper, you're still going to have to go through all the drills, getting your head knocked off in practice.
But the nice thing about that, Steve, is that if you're a long snapper, at least at the pro level, you're
off
limits.
You're off limits. You're protected. You're protected in college too.
But that is until the return.
Yep.
And then if you're in a position where you're going to be making a play, you're going to get hit. But
that's when
at least you're protected initially.
Yep. When after you snap the ball, if you're on a long snapper for a punt, after you're on punt team, you're fair game.
All right. Well, this second unsportsmanlike penalty after a touchdown against Eastern View means that Garrett Hutchinson will kick off from the 25 rather than the 40. Eastern View up 28-0. Obviously in the driver's seat as Cam Lacey picks this one up, looks for some running room, does a pretty good job on his return. Maybe making the most of that one for his team. He got out close to the 40-yard line. Good field position for Culpeper, but they've had good field position tonight, Steve, and quite simply just have not been able to capitalize on it. And, it's almost as if to say that they've been their worst enemy.
Yeah, they have, Mark. And, penalties will kill you. And, like I said, they've got some injured players that aren't suited up tonight, like number 7 and number 5. Who's number 7? That's
Dre Hull.
Dre Hull. And number 5, Storm Martin. Players that they were counting on aren't suited up because of injuries. So that also hurts, too.
All right, here's Culpeper back on offense, trailing 28-0. Under a minute to play here in this third quarter. Stay on the ground. This is Riley Harrison. He'll get out close to midfield. He'll pick up a blue double first down. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 49, so this will be close to first down yardage.
Right.
Well, this broadcast is made possible by CFC Farm and Home Center, outfitting your family from head to toe since 1932. CFC Farm and Home Center at 825-2200. And get a penalty on the play, don't we? Bringing this one back?
Yep. Looks like it could be a block in the back.
How's it going, man? Good to see you. I'm just seeing all kinds of celebrities tonight. Yeah. That was the former soccer coach at Culpeper.
Oh, okay.
And why is his name eluding my memory? Probably for the same reason I needed light for my eyesight. All right. Say again? Sean Summerscales, exactly. Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. Very nice. Jeff Say enlightening me here. I'm getting an education.
That's
after
why
that
he's
penalty,
soccer coach.
Yeah, after that penalty, the ball was pushed back to the Culpeper 33-yard line, and the final 15 seconds are about to tick off the clock. It doesn't look like the Blue Devils are going to get another play off before the end of the third.
No, you're right.
And when they come back for the start of the fourth, they're going to have 2nd and 14 from the 36-yard line. And there it is. Third quarter in the books here at Broman Field. It's all Cyclones so far. 28-0 Eastern View. We'll take a break, come back for the fourth. Stay tuned. You're watching the Cannonball Classic on the Culpeper Media Network.
Not everyone is an HVAC expert. Luckily, with 20 years of experience, Able Heating and Air can answer any and all questions you may have about your system. Peace of mind and knowledge that you made the right choice because they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air.
Battlefield Automotive is proud to continue support of our high school youth and the Culpeper community. Winner of the prestigious Ford President's Award for a record 13 consecutive years. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community.
CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. Finding the right outerwear for the job is difficult. Luckily, you'll find Carhartt clothing, Red Wing, and Irish Setter boots. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. Found in Sons Funeral Chapels has made it their business to provide solutions during difficult times for over a quarter of a century. During that time, they've also made an investment in our youth through football, basketball, softball, baseball, lacrosse, and 4-H, among other projects. Good luck to tonight's teams and do your best.
Mama May's Pizza and Subs at our new location on 620 Sperryville Pike still serves you the best in pizza, subs, salads, and so much more. Always fresh, always good, only Mama Mays. UVA Community Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial cooperative owned by individual members like you. Your financial success enables us to offer better products and services to all of our members and to be a positive force in the Culpeper community.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast from Broman Field and the start of the fourth quarter. Culpeper in possession, 2nd and 14. Riley Harrison, the ball carrier, bounces to the outside.
Ball carrier goes left side.
And then he's tackled there by number 33, Ronta Robinson.
And Mark, let me tell you, Riley Harrison's a tough-nosed football player.
Yes, he is.
He likes to run hard, and he was tackled by Harrison, the backup running back to Rock Lawson. So,
Yeah. All right, we got 3rd and 7, closer to 3rd and 8 now for the Blue Devils from their own 42-yard line. Opening minute here this fourth quarter. Well, so far it's been all Eastern View. They're up by 4 touchdowns. 28-0 our score. Plaster, the quarterback. Harrison again. Finds an opening. Nice blocking up front that gave him that opening, and he burst through that. Got across midfield. Eastern View territory at the 48-yard line. And that's a pickup of 10 yards. And a Blue Devil first down.
see what the
Make that, I said 48. Yeah, okay. 10 yards. First down. Culpeper, Eastern View 48. Opening minute, fourth quarter, 28-0 Eastern View. Look ahead next week, Steve. Both these teams are playing at home, and they have Albemarle opponents. They've got, get to that here in just a second. Eastern View is playing home to Albemarle, and Culpeper playing home to Monticello. Nice play fake by Plaster, but Eastern View players stayed at home, and they strung this one out and held him to a gain of only 2 or 3 yards.
And Mark, what I've been impressed so far tonight, we knew that the offense had some questions with Eastern View and how they're going to do with the new quarterback, Till Butler, but the defense, I'm telling you, they've left off where they were last year state semifinal. They are playing tough, and they have really playing hard-nosed football, and they've limited Culpeper's offense tonight. I'm really impressed with the defense of the Cyclones.
I am too, and I think that we're going to find out in time this season if the Cyclones have that explosive capability like they've had in the past.
Right.
Well, this time Lentz runs into a stone wall of Cyclone defenders and just really know where to go with it. He did give him a couple yards with his forward progress, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 5.
And that's what Mark, I agree with you. That's what the key is I want to see this season. You could always dial up a big play last year with Eastern View's offense with Matt Lowry and Blake Leak and company. Now you have Blake Leak, and Blake almost made a big play with that one-handed catch that was, he was ruled out of bounds. But again, the big play capability of Eastern View, I'm waiting to see that this season.
Well, I think that probably that catch was the play of the game in terms of what do you think? Degree of difficulty, athleticism. Of course, we had the 60-yard touchdown pass from Butler to Spangler.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good play by Spangler, but you had a Blue Devil defender try to bat it down, and he missed it. So you have that. But that one-handed catch by Leak, I think I'm going to remember for a while.
Yeah, that was a Odell Beckham-like play, like you said.
All right, ball at the 39-yard line, and it's 4th and 1. Well, if you're Culpeper,
you got to go for it.
Yeah, you don't think about anything else except how to convert this to a first down.
And watch Eastern View. They'll try to shoot that linebacker, Mark, and try to disrupt the play. Here they come.
Here they come. They did the encroachment thing.
Yep.
That's how the Blue Devils will get the first down here.
Right. Yep, you're right.
And it's 4th and 1. It's going to be 1st and 10, Culpeper on the 5-yard penalty.
That'll move it to the 34-yard line, and that'll be first down and 10. 8:24 to play. Clock stopped. Now they started again here in the fourth quarter. 28-0 Eastern View. And a look ahead next week, mentioned that Eastern View will be home to the Albemarle Patriots, and Culpeper will be home to the Monticello Mustangs.
Yep. Culpeper's got a tough game. Monticello is going to be good this year, and of course Albemarle, former Division V team.
Here's Plaster, airing it out. This one going to be nearly picked off. Blake Leak was there, as was number 6.
Number 6, isn't it? Yeah.
Josh Logan.
Yeah.
Logan was shaken up in that first half. He came back, and then he and Leak combined for the double coverage there. Incomplete pass. Blue Devils were lucky that one wasn't intercepted. Brings up 2nd and 10, still from the 34 of Eastern View.
All right.
So that big line comes to the line of scrimmage. They really have some size up there this year, Steve.
They do that, Mark, and they need to run behind it, you know.
And here is Harrison trying to run behind it. Does a pretty good job.
Finds the hole behind Brack and Hibbert.
And,
Hibbert with a nice block.
you know, you're talking about
Harrison with a
Brack
nice
and
pitch.
Hibbert. There was Grant Hibbert before him, right?
Yeah.
Down to the 30. Let's see. Let's give him the 28. Pick up a 6 yards for Harrison. Make it 3rd and 4. But the clock is working against the Blue Devils now. We're down to 7:25 and counting.
Yeah, I mean, right now the Blue Devils just want to work on their offense. I mean, they like to, you know, they need to score here to see if they can score. Because, like I said, their schedule does not do them any favors.
All right, here's Plaster, going to keep it. And he's going to be shy of a first down, bring up a 4th and short.
And I remember last year we were talking about Culpeper had all their tough games up front. Remember they started the season, 0-4?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
they came back and they're in the state semi, but they had a weak, Division III competition. And, I mean, Culpeper was good. I'm not taking anything away from them, but their competition after that wasn't very strong compared to their first games they played. And this year, though, they don't have that break in the schedule. They've got tough teams all the way out.
Well, if you take the game they played against Phoebus in the state semis, if you just taken number 4 out of that game from Phoebus, he might have been fine, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But he was one of those guys, and his name eludes me, but he was just one of those guys that was sort of stood out head and shoulders, above. Timeout taken by the Blue Devils. That'll give us a chance to tell you, thankfully, that this broadcast, that we're appreciative, is brought to you, made possible, rather, by UVA Community Credit Union. Your financial success enables us to be a positive force in the Culpeper community. UVA Community Credit Union at 888-887-9136. Then there's Able Heating and Air, able to keep your family comfortable through every season. That's Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. Speaking of season, Steve, you've noticed in the last few days, really, maybe last weekend, you've had a sort of a cooling down process, and it's felt good out there as opposed to the high heat and humidity.
It's been hot all summer, but yeah, it's cooling down, but it's supposed to get hot again. So, and then we got that hurricane. I hope in Florida everyone down there is prepared. That's going to be see where that one's going to go. But we've never had done a season without a hurricane somewhere in the fall, have we?
Yeah, probably not. Or something that suspended the season. We could go through that, our litany of some of those events over the years.
Oh, the sniper. I remember
that. Yep. Anyway, after the timeout, Blue Devils have it 4th and 2 from the Cyclone 26. So go ahead.
And the Zebras are trying to fix their watch a little bit, and they're trying to figure out, hey, is that a Rolex or is that a Timex? Or is that
it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Was that John Swayze?
Yeah.
Way back when?
Yeah, way back when.
He was with a trench coat and the hat, and you'd see somebody go through some ordeal where you just know that the watch has got to be broken, busted.
And you pull it up and say, it's a Timex. It keeps on ticking.
It takes a lick and keeps on ticking, yeah.
I remember when the rock fell on it or something.
Maybe it was a cliff diver.
Yeah, I remember that.
The other thing I remember well was ABC's Wide World of Sports, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Yeah. I can still hear that music. Yeah. Harrison, straight ahead, busted into the secondary. He broke a tackle and got into the secondary. Blake Leak comes over and stops him at the 15, 16-yard line. 10-yard pickup by Harrison and a first down for Culpeper at the 16 of Eastern View.
And Eastern View doesn't want Culpeper to score, and Culpeper's determined to try to get this ball and try to least get a touchdown on the scoreboard.
Well, they probably, the ones who were played on last year's teams probably remember the donut from last year, 37-0, Eastern View. I'm sure the players are mindful of that. Riley Harrison looking for some place to go, and there was nothing there on that play. And he wasn't looking for a place to fall apart, Steve. He was looking for a place to find running room.
That's
There's
right.
none to be found on that play.
There was none to be found.
So
Eastern View swarmed to the ball right there on that play.
well, they have it at 2nd and 8 from the 14-yard line. We are under the midway, we're past the midway mark, rather, in this fourth quarter. 5:25, clock ticking, 28-0 Eastern View. Riley Harrison and company would love to get into that end zone and put some points on the scoreboard for Culpeper. Harrison picked up a few yards, going to bring up 3rd down. And we'll check the spot here in just a second.
Looks like about 3rd and about 1, Mark. It's going to be a bit interesting to see if Culpeper runs. They're going to have their 2 downs to get here.
Yeah, they say it's 3rd and 2 from the 8. So, yeah, you got 2 downs, convert a 1st down. So maybe in some sense getting into the end zone, scoring some points will be a moral victory for the Blue Devils.
I think it will. I think it'll be cathartic for them. I really do. I think that it will help them and say, hey, look, we can do this. We just got to cut down on mistakes and play together.
Well, there's one, but Riley Harrison, Johnny on the spot, brings that one in before it becomes a fumble and a busted play. And he should have enough for a 1st down. We'll check the spot. You've talked about Harrison being a gritty, hard-nosed player. That time he had to be alert.
Yeah.
And his alertness avoided a Blue Devil miscue.
It sure did. So now, it's going to be, looks like it's going to be 1st and goal.
From the 5-yard line. So, Steve, Blue Devils are in contention here on 4 plays from the 5-yard. Get some points on the board. And give them something to feel something to feel good about.
Right, and they better hurry up because they had to wait to get the play in.
Here comes that big line to the line of scrimmage, and top of your screen, the receiver is DeJure McCray. Plaster in the backfield. Harrison, the ball carrier, looking for yardage. He broke away from one would-be tackler, burst ahead, short of the goal line. Going to bring up 2nd and short from about the 2. So they'll give him 3 yards. 2nd and goal from the 2.
And see, Culpeper's going away from its spread offense. I thought they were going to open up with a spread and throw it around, but they haven't done much of that with the spread tonight against Eastern View, and that's testament to Eastern View and their defense.
All right, 2nd and goal. Ball on the ground, and Plaster has to fall on it. That was a move in the opposite direction. They obviously didn't want it.
No, they didn't. And see, that's what they got to learn from. It's just the turnovers, and you're under a new coach, new system, and everything else. But Culpeper's got the athletes to compete with Eastern View. It's just that, I just can't put my finger on it. What's going on? Why they haven't had any success against the Cyclones all these years.
Well, checking in Armani Hoffman. I'm wondering if they might do a little play action here and try to get the ball to him, because he got 3rd and goal from the 6 or 7. There's that long snap count, and he had movement up there. I don't see a penalty flag thrown. Harrison. Harrison bounced out to the outside, and he's back inside that 5-yard line. But now we're going to have a 4th down.
And, Mark, that's where quickness here. That's what Riley Harrison can run, straight ahead and everything, but he doesn't have that lateral quickness like a Rock Lawson or a Trey Holmes to get away from that and get in there, get to that corner, because that corner, as you saw, was wide open there, but it closed quick with the athleticism of the defenders of Eastern View.
Yeah, well said. Now you got 4th and goal. We'll call it from the 6-yard line. Steve, what do you dial up here if you're the Blue Devils?
Well, you're going to have some. I don't think you'll be able to run it in here with Harrison. You're going to have to do something to get it in.
Well, this is McCray, isn't it? It is DeJure McCray on the direct snap.
No, they said he didn't get in.
Oh, wow. So he thought he was in. The Cyclones stopped him just shy of that goal line. So this is a victory for the Eastern View defense, no doubt.
And there's no replay in high school football, but they look like his knee came down before the ball crossed the the Plains, so therefore Eastern View is going to preserve that shutout and take over. 1:54 here to go against the Blue Devils.
McCray simply didn't get in. It wasn't for lack of a determined effort. It was a equally determined effort on the part of that Eastern View defense that stopped him just shy of the goal line, and looks like it may preserve that Cyclone shutout. It's 28-0 with 1:54 to play. But now the Cyclones are in kind of a dangerous situation here. Ball at the 1 yard line. This is a situation where the Cyclones have to be careful. You want to avoid a safety. And the running back there gives them a little bit of running room, or breathing room, rather. Number 33.
Ronta Robinson.
Ronta Robinson, yeah. But now they move it out to the 5 yard line. He picked up 4 yards.
And he was a JV star last year. Ronta Robinson was for the JV squad. And see, you got to understand that Eastern View JV won the district championship, and they were almost they went 10-1 or 10-0 last year. They were undefeated. So the JV squad was very good. So Eastern View just reloads every year.
Steve, I wanted to point out Jeff Say has passed along a valuable statistic. It's kind of telling in two different ways. One is the Blue Devils held the ball for 11 minutes on that drive.
Wow.
But the bad news is they came away with
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, those what you got to work on in practice. You have the ball 11 minutes, you better put it in the end zone.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to put teams away, especially in the fourth quarter.
They got close, but the Eastern View defense stopped them shy of that goal line. All right, second down. Five to go. Watch out here. This could be a safety as Riley Harrison dumps Till Butler in the end zone.
But they're going to say it's forward progress.
Wow, how about that?
I don't like that. That's a definite safety. But these officials do not want to call that. How do you not call that a safety?
Well, they end up losing 4 yards on a play, and they'll push it or mark it there just shy of the goal line. We'll call it the 1 yard line, but yeah, so.
And it's third down, the clock's running, and I'm surprised Culpeper didn't try to call timeout to try to, at least force them, because Eastern View, wants to preserve the shutout 28-0.
Yeah, the clock continues to run, as you say. On third down from the 1. Butler going to run it straight ahead. And he'll get to about the 2. And now we're down to 15 seconds. And the Blue Devils still aren't calling a timeout. I think they're going to be content to let the clock run out. They are. Now both teams are lining up in preparation of going across the midfield stripe to greet each other. And there it is, the final 2 seconds ticking off. This one now officially in the books. 28-0. Cyclones continue their dominance over the Blue Devils. They've never lost to them, and tonight they come in for the annual Cannonball Classic, and they win it again, this time 28-0. So congratulations to the Cyclones for the big win tonight. And really, Steve, the Blue Devils played pretty well in that first half. 14-0 was our score at intermission, and they simply missed some opportunities. But in all fairness to Eastern View, they came up with some big plays when they needed them as well, both offensively and defensively. Maybe it was a matter of pride there in that last Culpeper drive where they denied DeJure McCray getting into the end zone.
You're absolutely, Mark. You're well said. I mean, it was a total dominance by Eastern View. Culpeper had their chances, especially in the first half. Like I said, but that block punt was a killer where Eastern View scored on that, where they had that penalty on that block punt, and the big play capability of Eastern View came through, and their dominance on the defensive side of the football, limiting Culpeper's offense, very much, they couldn't do their spread. They couldn't really throw it very well. And so, again, you got hats off to the Eastern View Cyclones for winning the Cannonball Classic for the 11th year in a row or 12th year?
Well, they started it, in 2009? I think 2008 was a benefit game, right?
Yeah. So 2009. So
and that was the year they actually played it close. Was it 21-19 or 20-19?
Yeah,
21-19. Played it right here. And it was really cold that night. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that was played late in the season, in November.
It was in November.
Yeah. But there you look at the Cyclone team there. Well, Steve did a great job tonight in your debut broadcast for the season. We had a chance to talk to Jeff Say. Jeff, thanks for your statistics tonight.
Yep.
And Marshall Connor was up here, and some others. Dave Richardson was up here, and of course we saw some of the old faithful as well as far as our PA guys, and it's a great time. But one of the things that impressed me, Steve, was the crowd tonight.
Yeah, big crowd tonight coming out and supporting the Blue Devils and the Cyclones, especially for a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people got to go to work tomorrow. But, again, it just wasn't meant to be. And, again, Eastern View came, and they're out there doing a community prayer. And it looks like that's good to see, everybody together all.
And probably with James Ford in mind.
That's right, Coach
Remember
Ford.
what we showed you early on with that banner Eastern View had prepared?
Yeah, he got that diagnosis of leukemia, Mark, and that's going to be, like I said, it's very sad for Coach Ford, but I know he's going to fight it, and that's what they're doing and praying for him right now.
And this is a classy moment here, as Greg Hatfield leading it. Community prayer. Both shades of blue, praying for Coach Ford. So very, very, very well done there. Very classy. All right, well, that's going to wrap us up tonight from Broman Field. But once again, our final score in the Cannonball Classic: Eastern View 28, Culpeper nothing. Next week, I'm not really sure where we'll be. We know for one thing for certain that we'll be at home because both these two teams have home games next week. Steve did a great job in your debut broadcast this year. Great to be back with you in this only our 22nd season together.
Yeah, it's just like old school.
And all right, well, enjoyed it. Look forward to working with you next week. Well, for Steve and Johnny, I'm Mark O'Connell saying thanks for watching and supporting both Blue Devils and Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network. We hope you enjoyed the Cannonball Classic. We'll have plenty of action to come for you in subsequent weeks. And until then, let me say so long to everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.